Hey guys, it's Angela, and I am back to do your Quick Tip Tuesday. So today I want to talk to you guys about being conscious. For the most part, we are on autopilot throughout our whole day. And it's easy to be on autopilot. Our bodies are actually geared. Our brain wants to stay on autopilot. Our brain takes a lot of calories. It's about a third, 30% of our calories go to our brain. Brain is always wanting stuff, but it's also very lazy. So it wants to go the path of least resistance. So being on autopilot is really easy, and you see this in all different parts of our lives. But the one I want to talk to you guys the most about is being on autopilot and while you eat. So why does that affect you? Okay, so when you guys go to sit down to eat, what do? I bet you're in front of the TV watching the stupid Kardashians, or you have your phone out in front of you and you're watching some cute little puppy try to climb a flight of stairs or something. Even though that's super cute, and don't worry, I fall victim to that stuff too. I want you guys to try to do this. Try to sit down and eat without those distractions. You know, when we start to eat, digestion starts even before we put anything in our mouth. When we start smelling food and we know we're getting prepped for it, our mouth starts salivating. Our saliva is there to start breaking down food. When we swallow, obviously further down in the GI tract, our stomachs break down using acid, and so on and so forth. So when we're starting to eat, we need to kind of tell the brain that, hey, this is what we're doing. But when we're so preoccupied by watching all this other stuff and being distracted, the last thing our brain is going to do is say, hey, this person's eating. So what we do is we just start shoveling this food in. We're not checking in with our bodies to say, hey, have I had enough? We're not chewing enough, so that digestion that normally would start in the mouth, that's breaking down by us chewing, we're swallowing a lot of whole foods, and then our stomachs have to go into overdrive to try to break down that food some more. And sometimes it doesn't happen. So I know a lot of you, even if you don't want to admit it, trust me, almost everybody has some type of digestive issue. And one of the reasons is because we're not consciously eating. So when you sit down to eat, focus on what you're doing. A good way to do it is to chew 20 to 30 times. Now, around 20, it's pretty much like nothing. 30, people say do 30 times. I'm like, that's crazy. So kind of play with it a little bit. But as you notice, when you start chewing more and more, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, I would have been swallowing right now. And when you start registering, like, wow, the food's really not that broken down, when I would be swallowing and starting to shovel in another piece of food. So be conscious of that. Try to be aware of the flavors. Be aware of like what you're eating. Sometimes, we go through a whole plate and we're like, I'm still hungry, because we haven't given our bodies time to even register that we've ate, because we've ate it so fast. There is a chemical in our body called leptin that signals the brain to say, hey, I'm done eating, I'm full. But that signal is even deadened from the fact that we're not even registered into what we're doing. We don't even know that our bodies are eating right now, because we're so distracted by all this other stuff. Or we eat so fast that it doesn't give us time to actually our bodies to realize that we have ate something. So it's about 20 minutes. So take your time to eat. Sit down, and without those distractions, focus on what you're eating. You're going to be so much more satisfied when you get done with a meal. And you may not even finish an entire meal, because your brain and your body are going to actually be connected, and you're going to realize, hey, I don't need to eat this giant meal. Because for the most part, portion size in this country is out of control. And the last thing you need to do is be finishing your plate, especially when it's a kid. So if you have kids and you say, finish your plate, that's bad. We're teaching our kids to overeat. So don't do this. Really focus on if you're full, and not like, oh my gosh, I'm so full, I can't even move. Your buttons are popping off your pants. Stop eating when you feel like, oh, I'm good. And if you need to stand up and like kind of get your body moving a little bit and be like, all right, I'm full. Save the rest of it, Eat it later if you need to. But don't just finish it just because it's sitting there on your plate and you're full. Okay, so I dare you guys to take this little challenge. put your phones down, turn off your TV, and sit there and be mindful when you eat. Okay, that's your tip. If you have any questions, again, comment below, and always like the video, share if you will, and I will see you guys next week.